My parents demanded I pay for their 30th anniversary cruise, $17,000 for 12 family members. You're the rich one. I paid it without complaint. They left on Saturday. I changed my phone number on Sunday. When the ship docked and they had 0 ways to contact me, and they had no idea what was waiting for them next. My name is Max. I'm 34. I own a small fish shop in Alaska, the kind with a hand-painted sign, a busted freezer that screams when it's overpacked, and a bell on the door that never shuts up during tourist season. In my family, I'm the reliable one. Not the favorite, not the loud one. Just the one who picks up the phone. It was late March, the shoulder season. Slush outside. My hands smelled like salmon even after scrubbing. I was behind the counter, wrapping 2 pounds of cod for an older guy in a Carhartt jacket when my phone buzzed. Mom! I almost didn't answer. I should have trusted my gut. Max, she said, already annoyed, like I'd interrupted her. Are you busy? I'm at the shop, I said. What's up? She didn't even do the fake small talk. No, how's business? No, how's your back? Just straight into it. We're finalizing the anniversary trip, she said. And your father and I decided it's time you do something nice for us. I rolled my eyes and kept taping the fish paper shut. Nice like? A card? I asked. Mom laughed once. Sharp. Don't be cute. We're talking about the cruise. I paused. What cruise? The 30th anniversary cruise, she said slowly, like I was stupid. For the family. Your aunts, your uncles, your cousins. The whole group. I stared at the wall behind the register where I keep the handwritten price list. Halibut had jumped again. Everything cost more. I'd been doing 12-hour days just to keep the lights on. I didn't know there was a plan, I said. Well, there is now, she snapped. And it's not complicated. You're the one with money. I actually laughed, like a reflex, because it was so ridiculous. Mom, I run a fish shop. And it's a successful fish shop, she shot back. We see your posts. You're always selling out. You're always posting those fresh catch videos. So don't act broke. In the background, I heard Dad's voice, muffled but smug. Tell him the number. Mom came back, sweet and deadly. It's $17,000 total, she said, for 12 people. And before you start whining, listen, we raised you. We sacrificed for you. And you live up there with no kids, no mortgage, no responsibilities. You can afford it. I could feel my face get hot. I have responsibilities, I said. I have payroll, rent, inventory. Mom made that little dismissive noise she does when she wants to end a conversation. Max, don't make this ugly, she said. Just be a good son for once. I looked down at my hands. Fish scales stuck to my knuckles. My apron stained. My phone pressed against my ear while my mother basically demanded I fund a family vacation like I was some walking credit card. And then she delivered the line that always makes my stomach drop. You're the rich one, so step up. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just stood there in my shop, listening to the hum of the freezer, thinking, here we go again. My parents have always been like this. They don't ask. They announce. Growing up, money was their favorite weapon. Not because we were poor. We weren't. We were fine. But they acted like everything they ever did for me was an investment that should pay interest forever. Dad was the silent type until money came up. Then suddenly he had opinions. Mom was the opposite. Loud, emotional, always keeping score. And me? I was the kid who tried to keep the peace. When I moved to Alaska in my mid-20s, it wasn't some dream adventure. It was survival. I'd been working at a seafood processor down south, got offered a chance to run a tiny storefront up here, and I took it because I wanted one thing: distance. At first, it worked. I was busy. I built the shop slowly, learned which tourists would pay for wild caught without blinking, and which locals wanted the cheapest fillets possible. But the calls never stopped. It was always something. Max, can you spot your sister's rent this month? Max, your brother's car needs repairs. Max, we're short on the credit card bill. Max, it's Christmas. Don't be cheap. Every time I hesitated, Mom would go straight to guilt. We fed you, we clothed you, we didn't kick you out. You owe us. And I hate admitting this, but I paid a lot of it. Not because I wanted to, because I was trained to feel like saying no made me a bad person. 2 years ago, my parents borrowed $3,000 for a medical bill. Later, I found out it was for a hot tub cover and a weekend casino trip. When I confronted Mom, she went cold. "Are you calling me a liar?" she said. "I'm saying the bill wasn't medical," I said. She gasped like I'd hit her. Dad took the phone and said, calm and disappointed, "Son, you're getting disrespectful. That's their move. Always." I questioned them equals I'm disrespectful. So when Mom called about the cruise, my stomach already knew where it was going. I tried to be reasonable. "Why 12 people?" I asked. "Why not just you and Dad?" Mom sounded offended. "Because it's a family celebration," she said. "And everyone's been excited. Your Aunt Linda already requested time off. Your cousin Jess got a new swimsuit. Don't ruin it." I heard the clacking of Mom's nails in the background. She was probably tapping on a calculator like she was negotiating a hostage situation. "And also," she added, "people are counting on you." I swallowed. "Did anyone ask me?" I said. Silence. Then Dad, loud enough to be clear, "Max always overthinks everything." Mom sighed dramatically. "Do you want to be the reason your parents' 30th anniversary gets ruined?" she said. "Do you want that on your conscience?" I stared at my bank app after the call. I had money saved, yes, but not fake rich money, not drop 17 grand like it's nothing money. I typed the numbers into my calculator anyway. $17,000. That was almost a full month of inventory during peak season. That was a new freezer. That was emergency cushion if the roof leaked again. I texted my sister Megan. Me, "Did you know about this cruise thing?" Megan, "Lol, yeah. Mom said you'd cover it. You're good, right?" Me, "It's $17K. Megan, "That's not that bad split between 12 people." "But you're paying so." Then my brother, Tyler, called. "Dude," he said, laughing, "Mom says you're finally doing something cool." I didn't agree, I said. He went quiet for half a second, then got annoyed. "Max, don't be dramatic. You don't even have a family. What else are you spending money on?" There it was. The idea that because I'm single, my money is public property. Over the next week, the pressure got worse. Mom started sending screenshots. Cruise itinerary, cabin layouts, a picture of a dining package with little champagne glasses next to it. Then she sent the group chat message that made my jaw clench. "Mom and family chat, Max is taking care of the cruise. So grateful for our generous son." I hadn't even answered her last call. My Aunt Linda replied instantly. "Max, you're an angel. My cousin Jess, OMG, this is going to be epic. My uncle, let us know if you need help planning, champ. Help planning, not help paying." I called Mom, furious. "Why did you tell everyone I'm paying?" I said. Mom didn't miss a beat. "Because you are," she said. "Don't embarrass me." "I didn't say yes," I said. "You didn't say no," she shot back. "And you're not going to, because you're not selfish." That word, selfish, was her favorite threat. I sat in the back of my shop that night, eating instant ramen out of a paper bowl, listening to the wind hit the side of the building, thinking about how weird it is to be treated like an ATM by the people who are supposed to love you. And I told myself the same lie I always told myself. Just pay it. It'll shut them up. Then you can go back to your life. So I did. I opened the cruise site, entered everyone's names, watched the total climb, $16,842.37 with taxes and fees. I hit confirm. The screen flashed. Payment successful. My chest didn't feel relieved. It felt sick. Mom called 5 minutes later like she had a sixth sense for money leaving my account. "See," she said, satisfied. Was that so hard? I didn't even answer. I just held the phone and listened to her bask in it. Then she said something that should have been a warning. "Oh, and make sure your phone stays on," she added. "We'll need you while we're on the ship." I frowned. "Need me for what?" "For emergencies," she said. "For questions? For stuff? You know, you're the responsible one." The cruise was scheduled for Saturday, and that's when I realized this wasn't going to end with the payment. This was going to be an ongoing subscription to my wallet. Friday night, the night before they left, I was closing the shop. The floor smelled like bleach. The last customer had tracked in slush. My hands were cracked from cold water and sanitizer. My phone rang again. Mom. I answered because I'm apparently addicted to pain. What now? I said. Mom didn't like my tone. Excuse me, she snapped. I'm busy, I said. What is it? She did that fake, calm voice. Well, she said, we were reviewing everything, and there's an issue. An issue? Of course there was. What issue? I asked. The drink packages, she said, and the excursions. They're not included. I stared at the register like it might start laughing. I paid for the cruise, I said. That's it? Mom's voice went sharp. Max, don't be cheap. I'm not being cheap, I said. I paid $17,000. Dad cut in. Louder now. And we're your parents. We don't ask for much. I almost choked. They ask for everything. Mom continued like she was reading a script. The family expects the full experience, she said. People already told their kids they can do the dolphin thing. Your Aunt Linda wants the spa day, and your father and I deserve the premium package. Who is the family? I asked, because nobody asked me. Mom sighed like I was exhausting. Just send another $5,000, she said. We'll handle it from there. I actually said out loud, no. There was a pause, not because she didn't hear me, because she didn't process it. Then Mom's voice went low. Max, she said, don't do this. Not now. I said no, I repeated. My throat was tight. My heart was pounding. I already paid. I'm done. Dad made that disappointed dad sound. You're acting like a child, he said. Mom went straight to the knife. After everything we've done for you, she hissed, this is how you repay us. You really are ungrateful. I leaned back against the freezer door, cold bleeding through my jacket. I'm not ungrateful, I said. I'm broke because of you. That set her off. Broke, she barked. You're not broke. You live alone in Alaska playing fisherman and posting your little videos. You're fine. Stop lying. Then she dropped the line that flipped the switch in my brain. If you don't pay, she said, I will tell everyone exactly what kind of person you are. I'll tell the family you promised. I'll tell them you're backing out last minute. I'll make sure they know you ruined our anniversary. I felt something cold settle in my chest. So this wasn't about love. It was about image control. I kept my voice calm. Okay, I said. Tell them. Mom went quiet again. Then she tried the sweet voice one last time. Max, she said, be smart. We leave in the morning. Don't make us stress. Just do the right thing. I looked around my empty shop. The mop bucket. The stack of wax paper. The sign on the door that said closed. I thought about all the times I paid and they didn't even say thank you. All the times I sent money and got called selfish the moment I hesitated. All the times I let it happen because I wanted them to finally treat me like I mattered. And in that moment, I realized something simple. They were never going to stop. Not unless I made it stop. So I said, sure, and hung up. Then I opened my laptop. I pulled up my phone plan. My parents were still on my family account. Because years ago, Mom said, it's easier if you handle it. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I clicked. Remove line. Next, I logged into the cruise booking. The same booking I paid for. There was a section labeled onboard account/payment method. My card was saved there because when I paid, it defaulted to use this card for onboard charges, which meant if Mom wanted to buy drinks for 12 people and pretend it was nothing, it would hit my account. I deleted the card. I replaced it with no payment method on file. I sat there in the glow of my laptop listening to the wind, feeling my hands shake. This wasn't revenge. Not really. This was me locking my own door. Saturday morning, they boarded the ship. They left smiling, posting photos, tagging each other like it was a movie. And I already knew the truth. They thought they were sailing into a free vacation. They had no idea they were sailing into the moment where I finally stopped being their wallet. Sunday morning, I changed my phone number. The first thing I noticed after I changed my number was the silence. It was almost scary at first, like when the power goes out and you suddenly realize how loud your life usually is. No buzzing, no guilt texts, no call your mother. Just quiet. I went to work like normal. I unloaded a shipment of sockeye. I argued with a supplier about ice. I fixed the display case light with duct tape because that's who I am. But underneath everything, I felt this weird calm. Then Monday hit. My email started filling up with Facebook message requests. My Aunt Linda, Max, call your mom now. My cousin Jess. This isn't funny. Answer. My brother Tyler. Dude, what did you do? I didn't answer. Tuesday, the shop phone rang. I picked up because it was the shop line. Is this Max? A woman asked. Yes, I said, cautious. This is guest services for... And she said the cruise line name. My stomach dropped. I'm calling regarding the reservation under your name, she said. There appears to be an issue with the onboard account. I kept my voice neutral. What issue? I asked. She hesitated, professional but strained. There are charges accumulating, she said, and there is currently no payment method attached. The guests have been advised to provide a card, but they stated you would handle it. I almost laughed. Of course they did. I won't, I said. Silence on her end. I'm sorry, she said. I paid for the cruise fare. I said, that's all I agreed to. Any extra charges are theirs. She cleared her throat. I understand, she said carefully. Just so you're aware, unresolved onboard balances may delay disembarkation. I felt my heart thump once. Okay, I said, and I hung up. That night, Megan somehow found my business Instagram and DM'd me. Megan, Max, are you serious? Mom says her phone doesn't work. What is wrong with you? Me? I paid for the cruise. I'm not paying for extras. Megan, they can't buy stuff now. Dad is embarrassed. Me, sounds like a them problem. Megan, you're ruining everything. Me, no, I'm ending it. Then she blocked me. Good. Wednesday, Tyler emailed me from his work address like this was a corporate crisis. Subject, call me now. Body, they're freaking out. Mom says you did this on purpose. She's telling everyone you stole from them. I stared at that line. Stole from them. I paid $17,000 and I'm the thief. I forwarded his email to a folder I labeled Receipts because I was done being the family villain without proof. I pulled up my bank statements, screenshots of the cruise payment, the family chat where Mom announced I was paying without asking me. I took it all and made a simple PDF. Title, Cruise Payment plus Communication Log. Then I sent one email to my parents, to my siblings, to my Aunt Linda, to everyone who'd been messaging me. Subject, I'm not funding this anymore. The message was short. I paid $16,842.37 for the cruise fare. I did not agree to pay for drink packages, excursions, shopping, or onboard spending. Any additional costs are not my responsibility. Please stop contacting my business accounts. I'm taking a break from family communication. Then, I blocked the email threads. Friday morning, the ship docked, and that's when the real meltdown happened. Because the ship docking meant reality. They couldn't just float in denial anymore. They had to pay, and apparently they hadn't planned for that, because in their minds, I was still connected, still reachable, still obedient. They tried everything. They called my old number. Disconnected. They tried Megan's phone, also disconnected, because she was still on my plan too and didn't even realize it until then. They tried Tyler. He was at work and couldn't answer. They tried messaging my shop. My employee told me later they left 3 voicemails that were just my mom screaming, "This is abuse." They had no way to contact me directly. And waiting for them when they got home was my final boundary, because while they were on the ship, I did something I'd been too scared to do for years. I untangled myself. I removed their last ties to my life. I canceled the family phone plan. I removed my parents from the emergency contact on my business paperwork. I changed the locks on the small apartment above my shop because, yes, my mom had a key just in case. And I mailed my parents something they weren't expecting. A letter. Not emotional, not dramatic. Just facts. Due to repeated financial pressure and disrespect, I will no longer provide monetary support. Do not request funds from me again. Do not contact my workplace. Future attempts will be documented. Simple, cold, clear. When the ship docked and they finally got back to their cars and their real lives, they had to face a world where I wasn't available as an extension cord for their bad decisions. And they didn't handle it well. A week later, I got one voicemail at the shop from a number I didn't recognize. It was Dad. His voice sounded older, smaller. "Max," he said, forced calm. "We need to talk." He paused like he expected me to jump in and apologize. I didn't. He kept going. Your mother is very hurt, he said. We were humiliated. People had to cover things. Your uncle had to put charges on his card. It was a mess. Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say, thank you for paying for the cruise. He didn't say, we shouldn't have demanded more. He didn't say, we're sorry. He said, we were humiliated. Like my job in life is to protect them from consequences. I waited until he finished. Then I called him back from the shop phone. He picked up fast. There you are, he said, relieved. No, I cut in. Silence. I took a breath and kept my voice steady. Simple. I paid for your cruise, I said. You didn't thank me. You demanded more. You threatened me. So I removed myself from the situation. Dad exhaled like he was annoyed. You could have handled it differently, he said. I almost laughed. Like what? I asked. Like paying $5,000 more, like staying on call while you drink for free. Dad said quietly, we're your parents. And that's when it clicked for me, fully. That was always their shield. Not love, not respect. Just the title. I said being my parents doesn't give you access to my money. Mom grabbed the phone in the background. You selfish little, she started. I cut her off too. Here's the new rule. I said, if you talk to me like that, the call ends. If you ask me for money, the call ends. If you show up here, I call the cops. I'm not joking. Mom went dead quiet for a second, like her brain couldn't accept someone setting a boundary. Then she did her classic move. So you're abandoning your family, she said, like I was committing a crime. I looked around my shop, my life, my hard work, the things I'd built without them. I'm not abandoning anyone, I said. I'm just not funding you anymore. Mom scoffed. After all we did, I ended the call. No speech, no fight. Just click. And here's what surprised me. I didn't feel guilty after. I felt light, like my chest finally had room. People love to say, but they're family. Like that's a magic excuse. For me, family became a word that meant we use you and call you selfish when you stop. So I changed the definition. Now it means this. If you want access to me, you treat me with respect. If you want a relationship, you don't threaten me. If you want help, you ask like an adult and accept no. And if you can't do that, then you don't get me. That's the moral. Don't confuse guilt with love. And don't keep paying for people who only remember you exist when they need your wallet.